Hey guys, LJZ again, and this is my running shoe journey part 2. And today I'm going to be talking about the Asics GT-2160. Oh yeah. Hey guys, check out my running shoe journey part 1 if you've not done so. As I said, this series of videos, they're more or less going to be somewhat of a vlog and somewhat of a shoe informational video. Now, in these videos, I'm not going to get too much into the little nitty-gritty shoe specs, like, the weight and the materials and all that. But I will get into my personal experience with the shoe and how it physically felt running them, not down to the little details. So in part 1, the shoe I reviewed, the Asics Gel 1150s. That shoe is the shoe I wore throughout my 7th grade and 8th grade cross-country and track running career. Now, getting into 9th grade, I realized, well, they didn't sell the 1150s anymore, so I had to pick up the next best thing, which is this shoe, the Asics GT-2160s. Now, it does somewhat resemble the 1150s, except for the fact that, as you can see, there is more gel in the heel, as you can see right there. More gel in the heel. And it also looks thicker down here with the styrofoam and the cushioning. And also, the tongue is different. Has sort of like a plasticky, squishy substance there. And then, other than that, it's relatively the same. And of course, there's many more differences between this shoe and the 1150s, but they're very minor and they don't make that much of a difference on your running. But anyway, this is a stability shoe. I am personally one of those people who, I've been told at Flying Feet athletic shoe store that I need a stability shoe, because basically what I had to do is I stepped on this mat and it takes an indentation of my foot, and basically the people at the Flying Feet shoe store could tell what kind of shoe would best suit me. They said it was stability. I'm not going to argue with them. But here it is right here. Now, 9th grade, coming into 9th grade, I really had to up the ante, I guess you could say. It became so much more competitive. You could see that both in my mindset about running, and you could see that about my dedication to running. I still wasn't quite completely dedicated. Like, I wouldn't train on the weekends when we didn't have group practices, but I was a lot more dedicated. And also you could see that in just my times. My times shot enormously skywards. I had much better times. A good example of me getting better and more experienced in running and my times continuing to get better. In 7th grade, my mile time in track was around, I would like to say, a 6:20. In 8th grade, it was, at the end of 8th grade, I broke 6 minutes. I ran like a 5:55 in the mile. And 9th grade, I ended up running a 5:20. Huge improvement. But anyway, this shoe was a great practice shoe. This is the shoe I wore in practice. And one thing I did start to notice in 9th grade was, and I could see it in pictures taken of me running, I was a heavy heel striker. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically when you're running through your stride, your heel hits the ground first before the rest of your foot. And for many reasons, that's not the ideal way to run. It's not how man was meant to run. Running as a heavy heel striker, it puts more stress on your tendons, places there shouldn't be too much stress, especially your knees, okay? I was starting to have a lot of knee problems. And also, obviously, just laying on your heel gradually slows your momentum through each step. So you want to correct that if you can. But surprisingly, other than that, I didn't really have any physical maladies, physical issues in the 9th grade track and cross country seasons. I didn't really get injured too much. I remember in track I did have a little bit of hamstring issues, but I've always had tight hamstrings. It's the cold hard truth. Okay, I try to work on it, but I don't think I'm ever going to get to be loose in my hamstrings. But that's besides the point. I digress. Anyway, this running shoe, as I said, a lot more cushioning, but I'm not sure exactly if this shoe has more of a heel. I would say it does have a slightly larger heel than the 1150s. So obviously the larger heel you have, the more chance you have of heel striking, and you go through the process. But these shoes, the 2160s, they were a welcome change, and I felt like I could get slightly more mileage out of them. In 9th grade, also, my weekly mileage shot up exponentially. I had been, in 8th grade, I actually hadn't been really keeping track, as I said. Wasn't really that dedicated. Was maybe doing 25 miles a week or something like that. 9th grade, it shot up to around 35, 40, around 40. And so yeah, this shoe, very comfortable, very breathable, the mesh there, very cushioned. If you're looking for a comfy ride, this is your shoe to go to, especially if you're a stability runner, or you need a stability shoe, I should say. A lot of cushioning in here. I don't know if you can see. There's a lot of cushioning right there. And that's about it. I found it to be a really nice, pleasant shoe to run in. But then I decided to basically get into more minimal shoes. And I'll get into that in part 3. So please rate, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me in the comments, any tidbit you want to share or any information on personal running experiences you have had. So thank you. Please check out part 3. Thanks.